Depending on the term, home mortgage rates are either below or slightly over 3%. But getting a record low rate may not be that easy. Let's welcome in local financial professional Mark Falter. He joins us today to talk about what we need to know before buying or refinancing. So, Mark, let's start with how long can we expect these low rates to last?
Well, thanks for having me, Nick. I think we could last at least through 2021 and potentially longer. Actually, the rates are tied to bond interest rates, which ultimately are tied to the Fed interest rate. And Jerome Powell, Fed chairman, has told us we're looking at least 2 to 3 years of low rates on the Fed interest rate. So at least through 2021. It's really hard to predict the future, but I'd say that's pretty much for sure.
All right, if someone is considering this, what questions should they be asking themselves when refinancing?
Well, first thing they should ask themselves is how much can you really afford? In other words, 28% of everything you've got going into the mortgage, be that home insurance, um, uh, you know, uh, also the payment itself shouldn't be more than 28% of what you're making. In other words, if you're making 5,000 a month, you should be putting more than about 1,400 a month into all in the mortgage.
So if you do refinance here, so one of the things you should consider, will it help like pay off your loans faster, those types of things?
If you refinance, now I'm going to give you an example. I was just thinking about this on the way in. I'm at about 3.75 on my mortgage rate, and I thought I'd never see rates lower than that. Right now, on a 15-year loan, you can get 2.5%. But I'm in the last 5 or 6 years, so it may not make sense. I always tell people to get a interest amortization to make sure. We've got an actual calculator on our website at midamericanwealth.com that you can go to and actually double check it.
What about PMI?
PMI. PMI is what you end up paying when you don't have enough equity in your house. Now, home prices are on the rise right now, which means you may not have had enough equity. In other words, you got to have more than 20% equity in your home in order to get rid of PMI. PMI can be 0.5 to 1% of the entire loan value over time. In other words, if the home values have gone up, and they have, you could potentially refinance and get that down or get rid of it altogether.
And then lastly, if somebody is going to be a new homeowner for the first time or they're looking for a new home, what about qualifying ahead of time?
Well, what you want to do is, things you want to check on is, does it make sense for you to refinance? Are the costs involved in it? One of the things that you can do is get cash out, pay off credit card debt. If you got credit card debt and you can refinance, it's probably a good idea to encompass that in and get that credit card debt paid off. Also, you could potentially get cash out to remodel or something like that.
All right, very good. Mark Falter joining us now. Mark, great to see you with some good advice. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Nick.
Hey, if you've got questions for Mark, you can check out midamericanwealth.com.